Until today, voice was bolted onto your system of record. We rebuilt it as a part of system itself. If you run a field operations company, almost every important workflow begins with a conversation. A customer calls because their AC is down. A property manager reports a refrigeration failure. Someone wants to move tomorrow's appointment. A technician calls in sick. But the phone system usually sits outside the system that actually runs the work, which is the operations. The call knows what the customer said. Your field service software knows the customer, the equipment, the jobs, the schedule. Your dispatcher knows who can respond. Those three things are normally disconnected. FieldCamp brings them together. FieldCamp runs the work behind every call. Now it can answer the call too. The easiest way to understand the FieldCamp ecosystem that we are building is the three connected layers: the system of record, the FieldCamp Voice platform, and the AI dispatcher. For the last almost 2 years, we were working on the AI dispatcher and the system of record. Now we are releasing FieldCamp Voice. Let me explain them through one real situation. It's 11:42 at night. A homeowner calls because their AC has stopped cooling. It's 88 degrees inside and their mother has a heart condition. With a traditional setup, an IVR might route that call, an answering service might take a message, and a separate AI receptionist might email a transcript to the homeowner. But somebody still has to open the system, find or create that customer, check the address, decide whether the call is urgent, inspect the schedule, find the on-call technician, and call the customer back. Now, of course, there have been startups which have been coming along saying that we have solved the voice platform on top of your existing system of record. But at that point, you're paying 2x for a bolted on system. The conversation has happened, but operation still hasn't moved because the platform which your operations run on was legacy and not built for AI native world. The first layer of FieldCamp is the system of record. This is where the business actually lives. Customers, locations, equipment, service history, request, jobs, visit, technicians, schedules, estimates, invoices, and payments. That context matters. And an address is not just the text from a transcript, it belongs to a customer, a service location. An AC failure isn't just a sentence, it can become a structured job connected to the property, the equipment, the priority, and the next visit. The system of record answers the first question: what is true about the operation right now? The second layer is FieldCamp Voice. Voice is not just a phone number with a natural sounding bot behind it. It is a configurable call workflow that can understand why somebody is calling, follow up the company's approved rules, capture the structured information, and use only the tools that workflow is allowed to use. In this no-cool call, Voice can identify the emergency, capture the indoor temperature and occupancy risk, confirm the caller's phone number, collect the service address, and ask for the system details without making the customer repeat the entire story. If the workflow has the required permission, it can create a job directly into the first system, which was the system of record in FieldCamp, not copy the transcript into a note, not send somebody an email for tomorrow morning's catch-up game, create the operational record the team actually works from. And different calls can follow different paths. A residential emergency can continue towards dispatch. A commercial refrigeration failure can collect the business context and escalate to a human based on the SLAs. A routine tune-up can use the approved booking path. A distressed caller, safety issue, or a failed tool can stop the automation and create a human transfer. Voice answers the second question: what did the caller need and what action is this workflow authorized to take? The third layer, which took us the longest to make, is the FieldCamp AI dispatcher. Now, FieldCamp AI dispatcher is a machine learning solver where once the job exists, the next question isn't simply who is the closest, it is who is on call, available, appropriate for the work, inside the operating rules, and able to take the job without breaking the rest of the schedule. That is a dispatch problem. The AI dispatcher can evaluate the real job and the real schedule, then return a suggestion to the workflow. And this boundary is important. Creating a job is not the same as assigning a technician. The job can enter the dispatch queue, The dispatcher can return a technician and arrival windows. Voice offers that actual window to the customer. Only after the customer accepts it does the workflow commit to the approved suggestion. So voice doesn't invent an appointment. The dispatcher doesn't need to guess what the caller said. They are working from the same operational record. This is the FieldCamp trifecta. The system of record knows the business, voice understands the conversation, the AI dispatcher decides the next operational move. One customer, one job, one schedule, one chain of decisions. This is what changes when a voice becomes the part of the operating system instead of another tool sitting beside it. You remove the gap between what the customer said and what the business does next. And this does not mean every call should be automated. Humans still own the judgment, exceptions, sensitive conversations, and policies that decide what the agents may do. FieldCamp's job is to make that boundary visible, configurable, not hide it behind a magic AI promise that is going to work outside the box. For me, this is where the field service industry is going. The next generation of software won't just store what happened after the work, it will understand the request, create the next record, coordinate the next decision, and keep the human in control of all the imported exceptions. This is the FieldCamp ecosystem, the system of record, FieldCamp Voice, and the AI dispatcher working as one operating layer. FieldCamp runs the work behind every call. Now it can answer the call too.